Hey, welcome back to Minecraft, where in the previous episode, we built up these two decent farms in the back. They've been producing quite a lot of stuff. I had to expand the storage, and if I can get to it, we made this smelting setup, which has kind of broken a little bit, but it still works, so it's fine. But anyway, even though I have built up these now, I think it's time we move on to a bigger and better place. So when I play Minecraft, I tend to move out of my starting base, which is this, and build a really, really big base. Like, here's an image of the previous base that I made. It's pretty big. And I'm going to be making something at about that same size, but in a different way. See, the other one was floating above an ocean, and it was kind of like a futuristic vibe sort of thing. But this time, I want to be a bit more in theme with how I've built this base. I want it to be a bit more like medieval and a bit mystical, or I can't think of many other M adjectives to describe it. But anyway, the first thing to do for this is I need to find a good location. And that's pretty hard. There's a lot of places to go. But the best thing to do is to just look for it. Just start flying around. Oh, hang on a second. I've barely even left my base. I am practically at spawn here, and there's a woodland mansion. I have played a lot of Minecraft, and I haven't once found a woodland mansion, let alone this close to spawn. I still have no idea what I'm going to do with it, but these are just an incredibly rare structure. Can't find an entrance, but I might rate this someday. But this is something for another video. I'm here to go exploring for a place to build my new mega base. I might have found a suitable place to build. This is a relatively flat plains biome. I just need to flatten it out a little bit more. But yeah, this is good. I don't like the proximity to the savannah, but this is pretty good terrain. How's this bit looking? This bit's very hilly, but it's not that bad. Although I do prefer this bit over here still. Yep. I think this is where I'm going to be building. So now, with the help of spectator mode, I'm going to try planning this out. So here I've got Photoshop open. Now, I just need to sort of plan this out. I've got the big island in the middle here. Now I want to make some sort of a castle-ish place. So, if I get myself something... Grey doesn't really show up. Why is my pixel at 1? Okay, so I might have... this is not a good color. I'll just go with red. A sort of keepy bit up the back. That might have sort of storage and whatnot. Then walls sort of following the perimeter around the edge of the island. Not too closely. I don't want to have to do too much terraforming. But it should just weave around. I know this line is kind of bad, but whatever. In some of these corners, I might have, like, towers that'll just climb up like this. My drawing is abysmal, but you can sort of see it. It works. And these towers are going to be in a similar vein to my starter base tower. And I think next to the keep, I'll have one really big tower. That'll be exactly like my starter base, but just much, much bigger. I'm not that good at isometric drawing. Especially when I don't have a guide to follow. So now, that's like the sort of basic structure of it all. Then inside this main area here, I'm gonna have sort of like a large farmer's market and residential area. So right out the front here will be like farmer's market stall, farmer's market. Oops. Actually, I'll do this in yellow. This is obviously not to scale or at all accurate, but I'll have a bunch of these farmer's market stalls, and probably around the back here I'll have a stockpile, which will have a bunch of like farm drops, like melons, pumpkins, carrots, potatoes, beetroot, whatever, that inside of these farmers market I will have a bunch of villages that I can trade with. And I can trade with them stuff like fish or the farm drops or just anything to get me a bunch of emeralds. So then inside the keep, I think I'll also have like a bunch of librarians that'll give me the various books that I need. Actually, this residential district might end up just being farm drop storage. Of course, there'll be stuff like roads going through here. I've drawn on the layer. Damn it. I can't erase what I've done then. Okay. And I also think I'll have like an underground bit that'll have sort of a black markety thing, and that's going to be where I have mob drops, like a mob farm or a slime farm and stuff like that. This plan is kind of bad really, but I can't draw too well. I tend to do this with like actual blocks in the real game, but I can't spare those resources at the moment, so Photoshop will have to do. Yeah. And then just for extra things, I'll probably have... why did I choose blue to go on the water? I'll go with an orange. I'll have stuff like bridges going across the waterways for decorative stuff, and maybe even like a big wheat field on the outside. I see that a lot in various castle builds, but that might be going a little too far. Depends how much time I've got and how much I'm willing to do it. Yeah, I can see this being pretty good. So then comes the idea, what am I going to build the walls out of? Since the obvious choice is stone bricks, where, if I get my grey back, I would just have a bunch of these bricks building up the whole thing. But I want to be a bit more complicated than just a bunch of stone bricks in a big sheet. I think I'll also incorporate some deep slate in there, so then some of these will end up being a darker color. Obviously that's a bit too much and more just for show, and I'll end up having stuff like gravel that I can use for a lighter tone. So then it might be a bit more randomized how it'll end up looking. I've already collected a bunch of stone that I can turn into bricks. I've already got a bunch of deep slate, and I think I got a bunch of gravel? Maybe instead of gravel I could get light grey concrete. Yeah. I don't know. This is something that I can fiddle with when I'm actually building it. As for the towers, they're all going to have, I think, purple wool for the top of it, and then the big main tower to the side of the keep, that one's going to be the amethyst blocks again. Yeah, I can see this plan coming along. And for the main keep, I wonder if that's going to be stone bricks or wood. It'll definitely have a wooden ceiling. I need a better color for this. Yeah. A wooden ceiling would work. And then maybe just stone and not stone bricks for the walls. Hold on, I need to grab the right color, make it a little lighter. Yeah. So then if the keep is smooth stone, maybe it's exactly the same as the wall, except I don't use deep slate. Yeah. So then it is a lighter tone, so that it'll stand out a bit more. And of course it'll have the usual gradient going up, where it gets slightly lighter towards the top. I can't illustrate that too well, despite the existence of a literal gradient tool, but... And the towers... The towers are just going to be the same as the walls. Okay, so I think I've got a decent plan here. The farmer's market and the residential stuff, I can make that as I go. But now comes the next step, where I need to gather all the resources. Okay, now back in Minecraft, here we are. I think I need to set up a nether system first, so that it's easier for me to get back here. But I don't have any of the obsidian. Well, I did take a screenshot with the coordinates, but either way, it's -600, +1000. I can remember that. Where is my obsidian? There. And where's my flint and steel? I don't know where my flint and steel have gone, so I'll just make another one. Now I need to go all the way back over there. Okay, now I'm back. And for the time being, I can just put my portal just about anywhere. There we go. Crap portal, but it'll get replaced eventually. Once I find a more concrete place for it. And where am I? Okay. So my home portal is at about 0, 0. So it should be this way? Here's the home portal. I'm just gonna take my ender chest with me. Yep. That's the easiest solution. I don't really have any good bridging material. Okay, I've just collected a bunch of cobblestone, so that'll have to do. Man, this llama is really in the way. So I need to get to -77, +128. So first I go to +128. Okay, now I'm at 128. Then I need to go this way until I get to -77. I also need to go up a bit. I forget how much. I need to go to Y77 too. At this point, the bridge doesn't really matter because I can just walk over. And here we are. So, oh, I didn't bring any planning material. Okay. Well, these 2 shulker boxes hold most of my material. Oh yeah, that's what I was going to use. Tough. Yeah. And then I was going to use light grey concrete on the keep. Yeah. So a gradient of deep slate to tough to stone for the walls, or stone bricks, which I should turn them into stone bricks now. But anyway, I have what I need to start on the walls. Now, where do I put the walls precisely? That I don't know. That's where my plan kind of fails me a bit. This area in here, I might just fill this bit in. Yeah, this can be a bit of terraforming. Okay, I think that is the full perimeter of the castle. It snakes around quite a bit, but I think I've got it down. So then up the back here is probably where I'll have the keep. And then I left ample room over here for the tower. Then down around here-ish will be the farmer's market sort of place. And around here is the residential district and the dock, which I'll build here. And this dock area will also have a bunch of fishermen and stuff and things. Then in the residential district, I'll have like a sort of back alley bit that'll end up going down somewhere around this area, which will go underneath the whole town, the whole castle, and that'll have my black market district thing. Yeah. And that might also be where I end up putting the portal. That, or I'll put it in the tower next to the keep. But that used almost all of my deep slate. That just goes to show how big this is. I'm gonna have to do so much more mining to finish this off. So, if I do the maths, I'm gonna need 288 stacks of blocks to make this wall. That's a lot. Actually, let's just round that up to 300 for simplicity's sake. So then, that's just 5 hours straight of digging. That's a lot of work for just the wall, let alone anything inside this place. This is going to be a lot of work. Oh, and then comes placing it all as well. Oh god. If I can place, like, again, probably about a stack a minute. Probably less than that, actually. Let's just go with a stack a minute. Then that's 5 hours to build the wall. Jeez, so 10 total hours for the wall. That's gonna be a pain. And just to put that into perspective, everything that I have done in this world is coming up on 20 hours. And then you look at stuff like the keep and the towers and all the buildings on the inside and then all the farms that I'm going to put in here. This is looking like maybe a 50-hour build, but I think this will be fun. Now I think I just need to light this whole place up, which is going to be a decent task in and of itself. So, where's my coal? It's all in the furnaces. How many torches? A lot. Okay. That's fine. Oh, yes! It's raining! Oh, now I can show you something really cool. I'm just gonna finish the torching first. Okay, so, the reason why rain excites me is because I have a Riptide Trident. Now, you've seen me many times use the Riptide while I'm in the water to launch myself around. But I can also do it in the rain, repeatedly, over and over and over, to basically fly as fast as possible everywhere. As long as it's raining, I can just keep doing this. And it's really, really fast. You can tell it's really fast because the Elytra are making this noise. This is faster than rocket speed. So, I think now that I've done the wall, I think I'm going to mark out the keep. And maybe some of the other areas? Well, how big do I want the keep to be? I think this sort of size works. I'm also going to have to fill in this ravine bit here. Right, how's this look? Yeah, I like that size. There's a bit of a corner in it, but I think I can just even that bit out. Yeah. With a bit of terraforming, I could probably link that up. That's not too bad. I'm going to have to terraform almost this entire hill, though, because I want it to be very flat. Then I think I'm going to mark out the tower, which is around here. Right, so now that I've moved this in, this whole length is 49 blocks. So, That would mean the center is 25 here. So I just need to do a circle with the center around here. Simple enough. Then comes the question of how big the circle is going to be. There we go. This one actually fits. 31 blocks in diameter. And it fits fairly comfortably as well. Let me just see what it looks like. It's quite a bit smaller than I thought it would be. I want it to be about the same width as the keep. I might just have to shift it a little bit. Or maybe I'll just have to do some terraforming. Yeah, I'll probably just have to terraform. But I'll figure all of that out later. For the time being, this works. I still don't really know what I'm going to be doing with this tower. I just want it. But it's fine. It is perfectly fine. Now I need to grab my wood. I'll grab my birch as well. Now I'm going to mark out where all the various districts are going to go. Okay, so that's the market district. Right. I've left a decent sized area here so that I can have like roads and pathways. Okay, so I've marked out a secondary market district here. And just seeing how much this is taking up so far, there's not too much left for residential, but there's enough. Okay, now I've marked out the residential district. I feel like this sort of road bit in the middle is a little bit big, but it's fine. I'm fine with that. Yeah. Now I do have to mark out that there will be a sort of fishing bit around here. A dock of sorts. But I can get to that when I get to it. But yeah, this is more or less the plan for the place. So I've got the keep and the tower up the very back. I've got the two market areas. And I've got the residential areas. And around about here-ish, I'll have the black market. Actually, no. I can build it into, like, this side here. I'll have a black market-ish place. Okay, so that's more or less the whole plan for this place. Getting a big screenshot of this is going to be annoying, but I can do it. Yeah. I can start to see how this will turn out. I feel like I've got plenty of space to build what I need, but it's also somewhat limited. Either way, I think I'll be fine. I don't need all that much for a main storage here, considering it's not even going to house all of my farm drops. I've got this tower place, which I still don't know what I'm going to put in here, but maybe this is where I'll have the librarian villages. Yeah, I can see that. It'll be like the library tower. I've got my market area, or both of them, that are gonna have various different passive, peaceful farms, like melons, pumpkins, carrots, potatoes, sugarcane, bamboo, the works. And I've got a residential area where... Actually, I'm not sure what I'll do in the residential area. That might be where... This might actually be where I have all of the storage. I'm not sure. I can figure that out later. I've got a dock where I'll have a bunch of fishing stuff. That might be where I have the fishermen that I trade with, instead of at the market. And then right up the back here, this will be the entrance to the black market with all the hostile mob stuff. Things like a slime farm, which I didn't check if I've got a slime chunk, but I can do that later. It doesn't really matter that much. It can be where I have a hostile mob farm, just a more general one. That's the most I can really think of. But, yeah, it just depends where I store it. So, I can see this becoming pretty cool base. I like it. But, I think that's all I'm gonna do in this video. I've got the plan, I know what I'm doing, I just need to do the resource gathering, which will be very, very boring. So, I'll leave it here. Bye.